of changing environment. You always have to be, change is constant, so you always have to be ready and be able to modify your space, modify your actions, your decision makings, and the rival will pressure you at different times, at different ways, so you always have to be able to adapt to that. And that's all part of the mental that I want to train, and help train the U.S. national teams of tactical intelligence, and know we just have to be smarter, and we have to recognize how to resolve these things before they actually happen. We have to have tools, we have to give them the tools to be able to recognize how they're pressuring, how we resolve this, but this has to be done in practice. This has to be done days before competition, based on videos of the rival, based on how they're normally going to pressure, how they're normally going to do this, because that's the only way that's how every team does it, and we need to do it like that. And like I said, I want to work with the toma de decisiones with each player, and that's so important for me in every training, in every game. Decision making, that's connected to my game model, that's connected to our goal, to our objective, that's connected to the possession mindset of everything. And there's so many, well, I've outlined the principles here, but to work them in an actual training is so important. You as a coach need to have it so well written down in your mind, the idea is so well internalized, to be able to tell in the moment that the player is doing it wrong, that you want to see this movement, you want him to drop and receive, to control with the leading leg, to pass 2 touches, to play face, to understand the spacing, to understand the moment that we're trying to conserve the ball and not just kick it, to not play inside because we have superiority on the outside, to always have different passing lanes, to be body oriented correctly, to be dynamic, waiting for the ball, to be concentrating, looking at the play, to fija or be on the other side, even though you're not receiving the ball, to be in different lines, to be in different spaces, to understand where your rival is, to understand your rival's abilities, weaknesses, to play one touch when you need to play one touch, to dribble when you do need to dribble and when you don't need to dribble, to know when we're breaking a line, or when you're breaking a line, or when my teammate's breaking a line, and that timing, that intelligence to go, okay, we're going now, change of space, change of rhythm, we're going to go to goal now. Oh, recognize when I did break, but we don't have the players, or the moment's not right, so you to play back the tranquility, the concentration, to keep the ball under pressure, to not force it, to keep circulating until we find the open man, to play with our goalie, to be more intelligent, to have more patience, to be more calm with the ball and have confidence in the plan. And all those things are the things that I love and that I've learned from here that I want to teach to the United States. Those are things that are so fundamental in the learning process of all the players. I'm talking about the U.S. players, because I want to teach the best players in the United States, and that's simply what my goal is, to teach them everything that I want to know, everything that I want to teach, and to play a certain way that I think we can play as a country and as a soccer U.S. Country and federation, and teach all these things. And those are all the things that you have to have so internalized as a coach. So internalized, because I'm telling you, all the coaches here, the best ones, the elite ones here, which I'm talking about maybe 3rd division up in Spain, all know their things. They know it like the back of their hand, and they teach it in the training every day, and they demand it, and they teach it, and they work it in the rondos, in the possession games, in small-sided games, in big field games, the movements that they need to do, the timing, the ideas of each moment, how we're going to pressure, how we're not going to pressure, when to do what you need to do, when not to do what you need to do, the idea of fluidity in plans where you're in between players and know when to jump, when not to jump, when to be in block, all those things, and it's just crazy. It's crazy. They know those things, and we need to know those things if we want to be better, if we want to be good. We need a basis. We need a base of all those things in order to give us a chance to get better, to improve this whole thing. And that's what we need. We need more educated coaches. We need more educated information. We need more tactics in our football. We need more tactical movements, more tactical information, more things explained easier for the kids that are growing up in a generation where they can't keep the concentration up for more than 1 minute. These things have to be worked in repetition in game. Like I said, in all trainings, different rondos, possessions, small sided games, and it's not just doing drills with cones. That's not what it is. That's not what they're teaching here. They're not teaching drills and cones. They're teaching it with real playing, touching the ball, lots of decision making. Because the rondos, you're constantly decision making, touch, and when you mess up, you're corrected, and you're giving feedback, and you're helping the kid, you're helping the player, you're helping them think faster, you're helping them be smarter, you're helping them be better with the mind, because the mind controls the feet, and without the feet, without the mind, the player can't do anything. These are the moments that they're doing here, and these are the things that I want to teach to the United States and the players there, and I know I can teach it. I have it all well organized, well written down, and those are just the concept, the principles of what makes a good possession-based team, the characteristics of a possession-based team, and it's not even talking about the game model or the plan of action to execute the things. It's just things that players know how to do in Europe. It's just natural to them because they're used to playing at such a high level. They're used to playing with as the education that they have is just on another level. And I think we are missing that. And technically, we're fine. And speed, we have it. It's just connecting all the dots. Connecting all the dots to execute the game plan correctly in our own way that we're going to figure out along the way. But we need to have a basis of characteristics that everyone else is using in the world that we don't use. That is to play better, to play faster, to play better and to play faster, to keep the ball and not lose the ball, and to be smarter. And we have to find ways, creative ways to teach our athletes that, because that's the hardest part, to teach them, because they need to do it on game day by themselves, because coaches don't play. I don't play. I never touch a ball, and I never will now until I'm 80 years old as a professional player. But as a coach, my players need to do it, and I need to, one, they need to be motivated, which is a whole other topic, but two, they need to have those things work. They need to be ideas so clear and not complicated that they can do it on their own, and it's very important. And I really, truly put a lot of importance into making my ideas as clearly as possible, with images, with sayings, with just breaking it down as easily as possible, and in trying to teach them these things without them being overburdened or without them feeling it's so demanding or boring. It's tough, but we have to do it.